Welcome to Bravo Replay.
Hello, hello.
So excited. Are you ready to put your drama to the test?
I am so ready. I have some fantastic questions for you today.
Well, I guess we should probably backtrack and introduce what we're actually doing here, right? Like, this is a Bravo trivia podcast. You are Mattia, the grande dame of Chicago Bravo trivia, a very, very important position that you hold.
That is right. I am a Bravoologist. I have been studying the art of Bravo for over 17 years now. I watch it all. And yeah, I'm excited to put your Bravo knowledge to the test.
Wait, is Bravo really like trash TV for 17 years now?
Yes. So I started watching it when I was a literal child.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
a grown adult. So yeah, it's been going on for I mean, the Bravo channel is about 30 years old. And yeah, the Real Housewives as we know it is about 17.
Okay, I feel like we should talk a little bit about how we know each other and how this came to be. So, I have been writing about Bravo for pop culture websites for about 5 or 6 years now. I basically one day just threw a drunk email at them. They're like, "Well, yes, that you seem absolutely appropriate to write about Bravo. Here you go, Kate Hudson." And my name is Kate Hudson, in case you didn't know. I currently write for a site called the Mary Sue. I've been doing that for about a year now. And I've been begging them, let me write about Bravo. Let me write about Bravo. And they're like, no, like you have to write about everything else. And then Scandival happened. They're like, finally, Kate, you can do it. But concurrently, I've been needing to scratch this itch. And Mattia, you appeared like a beautiful desert on that girls' trip where Alex like screamed at Ramona on Roni, and you just why don't you explain?
Sure. So yeah, I started a Bravo trivia group in Chicago where Kate and I live. But prior to that, I've been on Watch What Happens Live. I've been to BravoCon. I've met Andy Cohen a few times. I've slid into many Bravo Lebs DMs. They have messaged me back. I've chatted with Jill Zarin. I met Taylor Armstrong at the deck. I mean, I am well in this world, and I really thought to myself, I love this world so much. I'm sure there's a bunch of other people that do too. So I started this Bravo trivia group in Chicago. We meet once a month, and it's been super fun to meet all these people, get everyone together, and just quiz everyone about their Bravo knowledge.
You are fantastic at it. Like, the reason why I wanted to do this with you is that I love Bravo. I have the memory of a warthog. So a lot of the times you would ask a question and I'm like, oh my God, this is a great question. It's like totally not in my head, but I want to know the answer because it's really fun to talk about, because even when you get something wrong, you still get to laugh at like Jax getting arrested in Hawaii, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. I love to jog people's memories and just reward people for all the years of them watching Bravo. You deserve the reward of knowing you're learning something. You're learning something every time you watch TV.
Obviously, we want to get to the trivia, right? But like, have you ever gone to a bar and like the guys are talking about like, oh, remember the sports guy and like that number and like that was really important 20 years ago? Like, this is our sports.
Exactly. And when I get a TED Talk one day, and I said when I get a TED Talk, my TED Talk will be on the topic of reality television is a bonding media for women and
Yes.
queer people, is typically who watches these type of television shows. They are not guilty pleasures. It's not trash TV. It's just a pleasure. There's nothing guilty or immoral about it. It's the same thing as men enjoying watching sports and talking about the statistics, and it's for fun. It is a performance, just like sports are performance. So it should be celebrated.
It's performance with better outfits. But to tie this back, you heard it here first on episode 1 of Bravo Replay. This is where Mattia first talked about the TED Talk. So in 20 years from now, when that's coming up in your bar trivia, because she is the new Andy Cohen and Watch What Happens Live is still on.
Yeah.
This is where it started, people. This.
Definitely. That's my thesis.
Okay, so why don't you walk everybody how we're going to play and then let the trivia begin?
Definitely. These are some questions Kate has never heard of that I'm going to ask. Our topic for this episode is the deplorable Jax Taylor. He is our topic. We are going to be talking about Jax and all of his villain eras throughout the in Vanderpump. So these are questions, again, she has no idea what I'm about to ask. I have researched these thoroughly, but I also knew the answers just off the top of my head because that's just in my brain crevices.
Rub it in my face. Like, all I can say is Jax has not blocked me on Twitter, and I would be devastated. And then I'm going to kick it off because I'm going to ask you a question about Jax that you don't know. What is the brand of tequila he and I did a shot with at like what was it called? Stassi's podcast tour, like in 2019. Riddle me this.
Now, I know that you met him and I know you did a shot with him. I met Stassi in Ohio. There was no tequila there though when I met her. I'm going to say that you did. It's that tequila bottle. It's blue and white. It's tall. Is it like Casa Azul or something in a ceramic? Is it that tequila?
It's not, but I'm like, oh, it's tequila. I'm like, well, of course it was tequila. They're always doing shots of tequila. It was Don Julio. He and I were doing shots of Don Julio. A shot with Jax was like $60. And like, I would buy him some and he would buy me some. He's like, my wife's going to be so mad at me. I'm like, let's drink. So I was wasted.
I love that. I love hearing when people brush elbows with Bravo celebrities. And I'm glad that you got that interaction with him. I have heard some other stories too. He loves drinking, but he loves other things also. He
you know what?
A lot
he
of
loves his son. Like, because I'm not blocked on Twitter, I can look at his Twitter still, and his son looks cool. So like maybe Jax is settling down. Maybe his villain era is only going to be for TV because Villains is about to come out this month. Very excited. Not a Bravo show, but it's trash, so I'm going to watch it. So maybe this is going to be like the end of Jax's villain era.
I would love to see that. I think those sociopathic seeds are pretty deep in Jax, but I would love to see him turn a corner at 43 years old.
Okay, well, I'm glad we don't have to know his like age for this because I was trying to remember, and sometimes you're really awful about the age stuff in the sense that you ask for it.
And a lot of them lie about their age too, so it is really hard to get like concrete data as to what their age is.
I love that. Listen, I failed math, so I'm ready. I'm glad. Let's hope there's no math on this test, okay, Mattia?
All right. So, Kate, are you ready? I am going to jump into the questions. I will ask you a question. These are not multiple choice. These are open-ended. I will give you a few seconds to answer these, and then I will provide you the correct answer if you get it wrong or if you get it right, and confirm it and let you know if you got it correct.
So shady. Or if you get it right, it's fine. My goal is to get it's 10 questions, right?
I think I did 9 or 10. Yeah, I did. There's some double kind of questions, so I counted those maybe a hefty one. And for you guys listening too, there'll be a few seconds. You guys can also answer along. You can shout it out in the car, answer in your head. But we're going to quiz you guys, and we're going to quiz Kate on Mr. Jax Taylor.
I wish I could phone a friend right now. I wish I could phone anyone listening and have them as my buddy because this is a lot of pressure.
No, you got this, Kate. I know you do. Are you ready for your first question?
No, but give it to me anyway.
All right. So Jax Taylor, as we all know, Vanderpump Rules fame. He was known, especially in the beginning, as a mactor. He was trying to be a model actor. And he was known for his model good looks.
Yes.
Now, during the series, he received a few cosmetic procedures.
Yes. Okay.
Being nose jobs.
Ah, damn it. I thought that was a question. Okay.
How many nose jobs?
Oh, God damn it. You said no math.
This is counting. How many nose jobs did Jax Taylor have? How many nose jobs?
So officially on the show.
So the official record, yes. Of course, if there's secret ones, we don't know.
God. Okay. Well, we obviously know it's more than one because you wouldn't be asking, and this would not be fair to have a trick question. So, and I remember at least another one because like Lisa came over and she's like, you stole all of this from Sir, you idiot. But I think it's 3 because I remember 2, and with Jax Taylor, he always overdoes it. So the 2 would have been enough. The 3rd would have been like, dude, stop getting nose jobs.
Your final answer is?
Oh God, I hate that you're doing that. Yes, I'm going to go with 3. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
You are correct. Jax Taylor, 3 nose jobs. The first one saying that he could not breathe, which is why he needed it, which is true. People can have deviated septums. The second one was to correct the first one. He wanted some changes to it. And the third one he said was because he was hit in the nose and he needed a third one to fix it again. Personally, I thought he looked great. I didn't think he needed any of the nose jobs, but it could also be a little nose candy. Who knows?
But the thing about LA is like everybody gets a nose job. Like
Right.
everybody. Like I had to leave because I lived there for 7 years. I'm like on year 8, I'm gonna get a nose job. Like I'm gonna wake up one day and I'm gonna have like Kim Richards. Like that was the grossest housewives moment ever, by the way, watching them break her nose for her nose
Yeah.
job. Like gross. But I thought he was fine before. Like he's a handsome guy. Like Jax, you didn't need it. As long as you're happy with your body, I'm happy for you. But you didn't need it, Jax.
Exactly. Well, the first question, you did get it correct. You have 1 point.
Okay, well, I at least I have a point on the board.
Now, for the second question, this is going
Okay.
to go into a little Jax lore.
Oh no.
Where was Jax Taylor born?
Can I just give you the state?
Where was Jax Taylor born? You can give the state. The state will suffice.
Oh God, now I'm worried that's like a trick question because everyone knows that Jax Taylor. Okay, I'm gonna just no, I'm not even gonna pause. You guys know this already. He's Florida, right? He's Florida.
That is incorrect.
Oh fuck, he's Michigan.
Correct.
Take it back, he's Michigan.
So Jax Taylor was born in Shelby Township, Michigan. That's where he was born and went to school there for some time. His family later did relocate to Florida, but he is originally from Michigan.
Okay, Florida's in his bones. Like Florida called him like a siren song and he finally answered it. Like he may have been physically born in Michigan, but Mattia, he was like spiritually born in Florida.
100%. And I would like to share on his Wikipedia page while I was doing some research. This is what his Wikipedia page says.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Jax Taylor was born in Shelby Township, Michigan. Now, I verified this from other sources also. On July 11th.
The registrar.
Yeah. On July 11th, 1979, to Mary and Ronald Couchy, as we know that's his real name.
I was hoping that'd be a question.
His mother is an Australian Terrier, and his father was a Maltese. Now, for you listening, those are dog breeds. Those aren't people.
Okay, but Mattia, the real takeaway is that Jax has fired his team because no team would ever let some idiot do their Wikipedia and like just. Oh, can you look at the last time that page was edited? Because I guarantee you it's been like that for days, if not weeks.
I think it's been a while. His Wikipedia page is not strong, so he definitely does not have a PR team right now.
Jax, hire us.
Hire us, Jax. We do that.
We'll at least monitor your Wikipedia, aka we'll at least stop defacing your Wikipedia because I'm neither going to, I don't want to get blocked by you, Jax, but I will neither confirm nor deny that. That wasn't me. I'm not that clever.
And I would like to give some pumptinis to whoever added that to his Wikipedia page. It's incredible.
Okay, but we know that was Tom Sandoval after Jax was like, you've always been a cheater, bro. Like, oh, Jax is good TV. I'm just happy Jax is coming back to TV. He is my number one guy in the group.
Well, speaking of number one guys in the group, the next question is in regards to a very famous incident involving Jax on Vanderpump. What film were Kristen and Jax notoriously watching when they first hooked up at Tom and Kristen's apartment?
This is your okay. I am just not going to remember this. Like I would love to say it's I'm going to get this wrong, but I think this is a funny answer anyway. I'm going to go with We're the Millers because that's the movie Laura Lee left. Like, that's the movie Laura Lee left the show for. I don't think it's right, but I think you're going to tell me.
That is incorrect.
You know.
The correct answer is Drive with Ryan Gosling.
Oh, this is how sad my life is. Someone was just talking about this to me like 2 weeks ago.
They famously were watching Drive at Tom and Kristen's apartment, and there was a foot massage that happened, and Jax and Kristen ultimately ended up making love.
Is that love? Is that love? Or is that something else?
It was something. Wait.
Who gave the foot massage? Remind me.
Well, we know that Jax has a foot fetish, so it was Jax giving.
Don't.
Yes.
How Jax
Taylor very openly has a foot fetish, which no kink shaming here.
Is this on the show? Am I just like?
Yes.
What? How did I miss that? Where? Yes. Like who said that?
He likes smelly feet.
No, he does
He
not.
does. And I'm sure Kristen's were a little stinky.
So Jax was like getting handsy with the footsies.
Hmm.
Well, Ryan Gosling's being what? This is like a 2013 Mad Libs right here is what this is.
I love it. I love to hear it. So for points right now, you do have one correct. So let's see if the next question you get this correct.
I'm gonna spiritually give myself Michigan because I knew as soon as I said it was Michigan, but I'll take the one. I'll take the L for everybody. Everyone can like do better than me. It's not hard.
All right. Now, speaking of Jax and his wife, where did
Brittany.
Jax and Brittany meet? Where did Jax and Brittany meet? Where did these two lovebirds meet?
It was on the show. We saw it. And that was right after he was done with like, what was her name? Carlotta or Carmona, something like Victoria.
Carmen. Hmm.
Carmen. Thank you. Thank you. I was like, I knew it was a C. I thought it was like an A. Oh God. I'm just lucky I got one, and that was a hard one. So I'm gonna go with God. I know this. I'm fudge. I just remember her coming up to the hostess stand and be like, "This is Brittany." That she didn't announce herself in the third person, but in my mind she did. Because if I had that accent, I'd be like, "My name's Kate Hudson. Do you like beer cheese? My Mima makes my beard." I'm just gonna stop now. Because I'm stalling. I don't know. I want to say this the hostess stand at Sir.
They met at a Las Vegas strip club.
That seems appropriate.
So they met at on the Vegas Strip in Las Vegas. They actually met off camera, but
Okay,
he quickly brought her onto the show. But they did meet in Vegas. She was there for a girls' trip, and he was there.
that's appropriate. Of course, Jax Taylor is going to meet his wife in Vegas because if Florida is in his blood, Vegas is in his soul.
100%. Now, for these lovebirds, how soon after meeting did Jax ask Brittany to move in with him? So
Oh,
how soon after meeting?
God. Give me, okay. Do we want days? Do we want months? Do we want like the lunar calendar? Because you are in the weeds on this, my friend. And I'm stalling because I don't remember, but I remember it was fast. So you know what? Three has been a lucky number for me. So I'm going to say 3 weeks because that's months, weeks. And I'm hedging my bets because I know I'm wrong.
You're very close. It is 2 weeks.
Ah,
So 2 weeks after meeting in Vegas, they moved in together.
I will just reiterate, I was told there'd be no math on this test. Like I should have rewatched the VPR last night. It's fine.
So I think that that's interesting that they moved in so quickly because, and Brittany kind of likes to stand by that she kind of knew it, but she didn't really know who he was in the show. I mean, she very clearly did.
Bullshit. Everyone knows.
I mean, some people move in that quickly, meeting a random guy from Vegas, but I think she definitely had dreams and ambitions to make it in LA and try to be something, which is fine. But I do think it's very interesting, and I think that's why they do make sense as a couple because she clearly wants the fame also, which is why I think she's willing to put up with a lot of Jax's indiscretions and other things because she knows that it helps level up her career.
I am going to tell you that as someone who lived in LA, actually, probably about the time Brittany met Jax, rent's really expensive. So maybe she's just like, Mima's driving me crazy, making me like taste her beer cheese. And maybe she's like, it's really expensive to live in LA. And so I want to live in this one bedroom with this guy whose entire apartment is furnished through stealing things at a restaurant. Maybe that's her kink.
Capitalism's hard. I get it. All right. Now, with Jax and Brittany,
Uh-huh.
they, as we know, presently are married and their wedding was on the show.
Yeah.
Who officiated Jax and Brittany's Kentucky Fried Wedding?
Oh, I always, okay. I always get it confused in my head because it was a storyline and it wasn't going to be this person. And I'm always like, it was Clay Aiken. I'm like, it wasn't Clay Aiken. Clay Aiken is South Carolina. And this was a Kentucky Fried wedding. And who is always like sniffing around the Beverly Hills Housewives and the VPR? It is Lance Bass.
You are correct.
Yes.
That is correct. Lance Bass of
On the board.
NSYNC Lance Bassett and Sync did officiate Jax and Brittany's wedding. That does lead you now with 2 correct points. So you have 2 points. Lance Bass continued a friendship with Jax and Brittany for quite some time, and that actually leads into the next question. Are you ready?
I bet it's math. It's like, how many months have Lance and Jax been buddies?
So, with Lance Bass and Jax, what failed business venture did Jax and Lance try to work on together? What failed business venture did Jax and Lance Bass try to work on together? And I'm just looking for the company name with this question.
Oh, the company name. It can't even be a company type. It has to be a company name. God, I should have cheated. I should have cheated.
If you do company type, that's fine too.
Okay. Who knows the company? It's somewhere out there, a Lance Bass super fan is like, I know the company name. I bought the failed prototypes, and that person is not me because Dodie was always my like go-to. Okay. Ugh. Jax has so many failed business ventures. This isn't fair. It's like I don't think it was the sweaters because the sweaters was like season 1. But I really want to say there were like glasses. Like he was going to do a glasses company at some point. But would that be a Lance Bass? Like, I mean, like, oh God, you are just kicking my ass today. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go with fuck it. I'm gonna go with beer cheese because it would. And then Brittany stepped in. She's like, "Ma has the best beer cheese." So then he had to stop it.
Now, while there was talks of Brittany and Jax doing a Mima's beer cheese, that was not the product that Lance and Jax were working on.
Was it? Just tell
me.
They
were working on a drink company that was called Just Add X.
I remember that. Oh, Mattia, you're doing me dirty. This is like an AP class on Jax Taylor, and I'm pretty sure Jax Taylor never took any AP classes in high school.
No. And what I think is interesting and what sparked this question for me was recently, like a few years ago, Lance Bass came out with a comment and some articles picked it up where he said that he's no longer a part of the Just Add X drink company. Jax is trying to sell it, and Lance said it was because Jax reverted back to who he was while he was on the Vanderpump Rules show and said that he wasn't, Lance referred to Jax as not being really someone that was trustworthy or someone he wanted to do business with. So it sounds like their friendship also kind of fizzled out also.
Didn't that crazy person though, like start in sync, like that Perlman guy who also did Backstreet Boys and like went to jail for a lot of like shady stuff. I guess my point is if Lance Bass is like, whoa, you're a bridge too far for me, and like think of how shady like Jax had to have been. And also, what is there to sell with that? They probably paid like, I don't know, Ariana's brother to do the graphic. I don't know. I'm sure there's like a Vanderpump adjacent person who does graphic design, and like they probably just paid them for that.
For sure. Yes, it is a defunct company. They are trying to sell it. And I would be interested to hear what their friendship status is as of now, especially with Lance going on tour soon with NSYNC. I wonder if Lance has kind of dropped his C-list celebrity friends like some of the Bravo people.
Do you think LVP is sitting there like, because it's LVP, right? So she's probably texting him and then testing how long it takes for him to respond to make sure she's still in the inner circle.
I don't think LVP knows how to text. I genuinely don't think she does. She is ancient, and I don't think she knows how to use anything electronic.
She knows how to text like a boomer. So she'll be like, it's Lisa, Lance, how are you? Lisa.
She's barely a boomer. She's like the silent generation. Like she is old.
She's anything but silent though.
Right.
I love her. Oh, I would love to get a Kate. How are you? Stop insulting me on the podcast. Lisa.
All right. Are you ready for the next Jax Taylor question?
No, because I'm getting my ass kicked, but let's do it anyway.
For the next question, now this is, we're going into the early seasons. Okay. So get into the mindset. You're in the early seasons.
Okay. I'm going to fight. I'm going to drink. I'm going to have bad highlights. Let's do it.
Do you remember Jax Taylor's tumor scare on Vanderpump.
Oh, what do you?
Of course.
Of course you do.
So Jax Taylor, for reference, for anyone that doesn't remember, Jax Taylor found a lump in one of his pecs.
Oh, and Stassi, he was still with Stassi. Okay, now she's like, whatever. And he's like, I have cancer. Okay, now I remember this. Okay.
So the question is, what did the doctor say was the cause of this benign lump?
Oh, God, you went in the weeds. What would be the cause of a benign lump in a man's pec? I'm going to say it's a cyst. So it's probably a fat deposit.
That is incorrect.
Of course it is. I'm getting my ass kicked.
The reason that Jax relayed from the doctor was the cause of his lump was from protein powder and supplements. And then there was a scene where Stassi goes into his kitchen and throws out all of his protein powder supplement things. They were saying that this was, I mean, this is what Jax is saying. We obviously didn't talk to the doctor really, but that was the reason.
Okay, that's kind of disgusting because it makes me think that either you're just eating those scoops of protein powder raw, or like they're probably really old and expired.
It's probably more that.
Oh, Jax. He should have done a protein supplement company with Lance and that friendship would still be intact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jax. Okay.
Well, Kate, don't worry. I know you're going to get this next question right because
No pressure.
You referenced it earlier. So I'm very confident you will get this correct.
Let's hope. It'd be really sad if I don't.
So the Vanderpump Rules cast, they go on a lot of trips, just like our friends at Real Housewives and other franchises.
I want to go on a trip.
Jax Taylor was arrested during a Vanderpump Rules trip.
Okay.
Where was he arrested and what was he arrested for?
I am so glad you have this question because I am now going to get, is it 1 point or 2 points if I can answer it fully correct? I think you should give me 2 points.
This is 2 points.
Yes. Okay. We all know, not we, I'm not going to be smug because I did not get a lot of questions. I'm sure other people did, but Jax Taylor was arrested in the great state of Hawaii for stealing sunglasses.
That is correct.
Oh, it's my favorite Jack. It's my second favorite Jax Taylor moment. My first is obviously when he's drowning and he says to the lifeguard, "You can save me if you want."
That is a great quote. I also like to remind people, so he stole these sunglasses for Britney. If anyone remembers that, that was the purpose, what he says on the show, that he stole them for Britney.
Well, okay, then they should have let him have them.
What I think is interesting is then Stassi has a confessional where she says he stole a wallet for me while we were dating. So this is clearly a pattern that he has where he steals things for the women that he's dating, probably because A, I don't think he knows how to manage his money, but B, it is definitely some type of like, I don't know if it's like a high that he gets, or it is very interesting that I'm sure he's done this for a lot of women. I think he steals a lot. I think he probably likes the high.
But okay, I have a question for you. Do you think he's ever stolen things for feet? Like socks, shoes, body parts? Like, what do you think?
I bet he's stolen like a pair of shoes from TJ Maxx or something. I bet he would do something like that. But I think he steals a lot more. Like the glasses, he definitely was the first time he got caught on TV, but I'm sure that was not. We know that he's stolen other things.
You are talking like you've never shoplifted. Have you never shoplifted?
I have never shoplifted.
Oh yeah, no, me neither. I've definitely never shoplifted.
I guess I don't even like, I haven't even just viewed it as like an option. Like I don't even like, I guess I just haven't like thought about it. But I mean, if I saw someone, I just turn away. It's none of my business.
So if you saw Jax, no, I don't believe you. If you saw
if it was Jax Taylor, I would say something.
You'd have your camera out and you'd be like tagging Andy Cohen. Like, come on.
If it was a famous person, yes. If it was just some, a normal person, I'm
like Winona Ryder going through Saks in 2003. Like,
that's none of my business. None of my beeswax what they're doing. I'm turning away. I'm minding my own business.
I want you to know if I had seen Winona Ryder shoplifting, this whole podcast would be like, well, it reminds me of the time. You'd be like, how old is Jax? I'm like, well, it reminds me of the time I saw Winona Ryder shoplifting. That that is being like there for history. Like, oh, I love her.
I love her too. She's an absolute icon.
She'd be a great housewife.
Now, for a points tally, since that was a 2-point question, that now brings you to 4 points.
I'm doing okay. I'd still be failing if this were a test, though.
Now, this is our final question,
Oh
everyone.
God, it's going to be about math.
Now, this question was not talked about on Vanderpump Rules. This is something that you should know, or if you do know, is more just in kind of the knowledge if you're really into these people's lives. You might have heard it referenced in some interviews.
Oh, golly.
But as I mentioned before, we knew the cast started off, the Vanderpump Rules cast started off as wanting to be actors, models, and they did the Vanderpump Rules show to hopefully catapult their career, which we know did.
Yes.
What famous network TV show was Jax Taylor's on before Vanderpump Rules? What famous network TV show was Jax Taylor on before Vanderpump Rules?
Okay. No, I'm gonna have to ask you a couple of questions. Like, define famous. Are we talking reality show? Is it like a comedy? Like, give us a hint. Come on.
It was a large, famous network TV show. Because remember, this is before streaming.
Okay.
So think of some big network shows in the time of,
Give a genre.
in the
Give me a
2010s.
genre. Come on.
Scripted show
Scripted
on ABC.
on ABC. Okay, because I remember that Stassi's like first big break, but like wasn't she on Beauty and the Brain or something before this happened? Like that's why I'm asking.
I think she was on Wife Swap or one of those kind of.
Oh, she was. One of them was on Beauty and the Brain. I think she was also on Beauty and the Brain. Like Stassi is like a reality show vet.
She had her own reality show too that wasn't picked up before Vanderpump Rules.
That makes sense. She's okay. Massive ABC. Okay, I think okay, I'm gonna take a stab, even though I don't remember him on the show. I hope he was a dead body. I'm gonna go with Grey's Anatomy.
While that is a great guess,
Damn it, Mattia.
the correct answer is Desperate Housewives.
Of course he was. Ah.
He was known as Hot Guy number 2, something like that. He was just in it for a quick second. You can actually Google it. You can look for some images of him. So he landed that show prior to Vanderpump Rules airing.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, this was really hard, and I'm gonna be really happy. I got 4 points, right?
You did. You ended on top with 4 points. You did great.
Listen, I did better than Jax Taylor would have done at a trivia question about me because Jax has met me like for 20 seconds. So I'm going to enjoy that about myself.
I think you did better than Jax Taylor would answer these questions himself because he is so delusional, I think, and he'd have a hard time remembering a lot of these.
Well, me too, Jack. Here's the thing. To follow Jax Taylor, his robust history means that there is a lot of things happening, and sometimes you're not going to remember, especially not the math. So, yeah, that's all I have. I'm going to sit here and eat my food with my 4 points, and good on anyone else if they did more than me. I did not do that great today. But if you got less than 4 points, you're doing great, sweetie.
If you got less than 4 points, I recommend to brush up on your Vanderpump Rules. Started from episode 1. They're filming right now, or they're wrapping up filming.
Oh, they're wrapped. Yeah.
So brush up on that before the new season. If you got all of them right, please give yourself a pat on the back.
Yes.
You're doing something. You're learning things. You are gaining a skill, and that skill is learning about Vanderpump Rules lore.
In fact, if you got more than 4 and you live in Chicago, you should come play Bravo trivia with us, and you should be on my team because I need the help. Okay, is that it? Is that it for all the trivia questions, Mattia?
Those are all of the questions for today.
Okay, so we are going to segue now because I've been dying to talk to you about this. Bethany Frankel is out there in the world coming for Andy Cohen, and Andy Cohen is like, it feels like he's sicking housewives on her via the show. So what are your thoughts?
It is an interesting pivot I was a Bethany fan up until a few
We
years
all
ago.
were. Girl, we all were.
She was funny. She was kind of the audience surrogate, but I don't know if it's she's getting older and she's just becoming a bit more delusional. I mean, she's definitely biting the hand that feeds her. I think she's getting a little upset at she hasn't been picked up for some of the show ideas. Her career
Yeah.
isn't as stellar as it was, when she was in her peak.
But don't you think that there's like a kernel of truth there that like because her complaint is basically Andy Cohen has beach houses because 180 women are willing to denigrate themselves for people's entertainment and they're not protected and he's making money off of that.
Definitely, but Bethany also made all of that money. She would have never gotten as much money as she did selling to Jim Beam if she was not on The Real Housewives. They're all gaining things from doing these shows, and I mean, they are consenting and signing on to these contracts.
But do you ever really know? Like, I hate it when people play devil's advocate, but I do think there's something to this. Like, you may think you want to be famous. You may think, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be a housewife, like, whatever. But, like, I think the reality of, like, being on these shows is completely different than, like, what you think you're signing on for, you know?
100%. But with Bethany, I mean, she left and came back. She had multiple spin-off TV shows. She had
You're
so
right.
many instances where she was involved and, she produced shows herself. She did that show with Frederick. She did so many
Yeah.
shows that she definitely knew there's to a point where you can't play the naive card anymore. You knew what you were doing. I
Yeah.
understand someone like an Alex McCord or a Peggy on OC where they just do 1 or 2 seasons and it's very jarring for them and they're like, oh my gosh,
Out.
I want
Yeah.
nothing to do with this. That I totally get. You bit off more than you can chew. You realized you didn't really like it. I think that's fine. I
Okay.
think Bethany can be true in partially what she's saying. I mean, two things can be true at the same time. I think they probably do need some more protection. They
Oh,
probably
yeah.
do need some more mental health assistance,
Oh, yeah.
but also they are already wealthy people for the most part going on national TV. So how much they're getting exploited, I think it kind of depends. It's complex for sure because should they be protected by a union like scripted
Yes.
actors are?
Everyone should be.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah, support unions, obviously. But it's interesting because also like it is their lives, it's their real homes, their real marriages, their real children. So it is this gray area. And I'm sure in the future there will be things that will protect these people more and they'll instill more protection on these people. But I think the fact that the critique is coming from Bethany in a
Yeah.
point where her career is clearly stalling. I mean, she's shilling like TJ
Everything.
eyeliner. I mean, she's trying to be like an influencer, and it is a strange look.
Okay, so who would you find it more appropriate coming from other than Alex McCord? God bless her. I don't need to see her again.
I love Alex McCord, but yeah, I think someone like that I think would just have more weight of someone that didn't kind of popped in, did a few seasons, and was like, I don't think this is good. Someone like Jackie on New Jersey,
I was
I think that would make a lot of sense.
I was about to say Eileen Davidson because one, I love her, and
Love her.
two, like she's an actor, like she knows what's appropriate. She already has union protections on that side of things. You know what I mean? Like Eileen should pick up this cause.
That's a perfect person where I think there would be more weight to what they were saying. I think if Bethany's show pitches got picked up from Bravo or another
Oh,
network,
she wouldn't be saying
she would
anything.
she wouldn't be saying a thing. So
Oh,
that's kind of my critique of it is, now you want to go against them because it's convenient for you, which I don't really like.
I'm sorry, but we are talking about reality stars. That is literally the name of the game.
Exactly.
Like, come on. Okay. I am going to pivot back to Jax because like we've spoken Bethany's name like enough into existence right now, even though I loved her in season one. So we talked about Jax. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to create a cocktail that embodies Jax. So what would go in it and what would you call it?
Now, I am not a mixologist like Ariana and Tom Sandoval. So, and it's going to be tricky, but I would say Jax's drink has to be really sour. So I'm going
Really?
to say it's a whiskey sour with some fruit in it. Yeah, I'm going to say it's a whiskey sour with some fruit in it because I find the fruit will be sweet because sometimes he can be sweet.
Okay.
And then the whiskey sour because he's obviously can be very sour,
Okay.
especially when he's having, a Jax Taylor meltdown. And I put the whiskey in there because I don't like whiskey and I'm not attracted to Jax. So those are all the components for his cocktail. He's
Okay,
sweet and sour and I'm not attracted to him.
what would you call it?
Jax's sour twist. I'm not a mixologist. I literally just drink like vodka sour, like vodka.
I don't think Brittany is going to take that idea and like pair it with a beer cheese. That's okay. Do you want to hear what mine would be?
Yes.
I have not thought about this at all. So it's going to start with a base of cherries, cough syrup, because cherries are from Michigan. And it just really feels like that's probably something Jax Taylor used to chug like as a 14-year-old in Florida, because that's how you got drunk back then. We're gonna we're gonna put Malibu rum in it because that once again has a Florida vibe to it. And then we're going Goldschlager. Then you're gonna top it up with Goldschlager because that is cinnamon vodka. And what pairs better with cherry cough syrup and Malibu rum than Goldschlager? And we're gonna call it the "You Can Shoot Me If You Want To" in honor of the time that he was drowning, and he was like, "You can rescue me if you want to." And plus, it would probably be healthier just to go shoot yourself in the foot than to take that shot, because it's a shot. I just decided it's a shot as well.
Well, you are much better at creating drinks and naming them than I am because that is way better. But I did get acid reflux just listening to you describe that. Like I'm literally like I have it in my chest right now.
Okay, but aren't you like? There's a part of it is like, this sounds disgusting, but also I would totally do that shot just to
for sure.
Say I did it, right? Yeah. Like that also sums Jax Taylor up and like in one weird, oddly compelling, but also disgusting drink.
100%. On my 21st birthday, I'm doing that shot.
Okay, Mattia, which one of those would you drink? Because we obviously know which one I would do.
I'm going to do your shot. I'm going to do your shot again. I don't even like whiskey sour, but I'm going to do your shot.
Okay, everybody listening at home, tag us at Bravo Replay at Instagram and let us know at least which of the drinks you would do. If you have a better name for it, come up with it. And if you're artistically like inclined, I would love to see an artistic rendering of the you can shoot me if you want shot. And like, hey, maybe one day we'll all do it together.
I love that.
Okay, I have another question for you. And it's my last question for you. It's Jax Taylor. So it's Bravo. It's the Bravo universe. Obviously, like trips are a big deal. I want you to design the ideal trip around Jax. So pick a location and then pick other Bravo celebrities that would be on his ultimate, like it's a girls trip. Like, even though Jax is a guy, you know what I mean? It's a girls trip. Like, design the perfect Jax girls trip.
Well, I feel like when I think of Jax, or just when I think of Vanderpump Rules trips in general, I'm thinking Mexico, right? It's Vanderpump Rules, it's Mexico. They go on trips there a lot. Sheena got her second wedding was held in Mexico. So we're going to Mexico. We're drinking tequila. It's going to be Jax.
Okay.
It's going to be, obviously, we're inviting Brittany. Cruz is staying home. Cruz is staying home. He's with Meemaw. And we're going to invite Tom Sandoval because I want to watch the two of them argue.
Okay.
We're also going to bring, let's bring some.
You don't have to bring any VPR. Like, it doesn't.
We're bringing Potomac. We're bringing some.
Okay, you're going Potomac.
We're going to bring Candace from Potomac. And we're going to bring Ashley from Potomac. And the reason why is they're very intelligent and they're really good at reading people and cutting people down. And I would love to watch these two brilliant women just absolutely drag these men to hell. Just drag them to hell. We're in Mexico. We're hanging out at the beach. We're doing a booze cruise. We're going to play pickleball because they have to play pickleball at some point. And
obviously.
I would love to watch like Tom Sandoval, who is such a gaslighting,
The turd.
just
The
really
turd.
has so many personality disorders. And I would love to watch him against these two women that can just see right through him and
Okay.
just chop him down. So
And
I would
while
love that.
Jax is like stirring the pot and Brittany's like, I'm America's sweetheart, bitch.
Yes, and America and Brittany's pretending to be America's sweetheart, even
Love
though, she has some insidious views, in my opinion. If you look into her a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so if I were to do this, and again, I did not think about this before I decided to ask you, I would put Jackson's a Michigan boy. And I'm sick of seeing like all these like fancy, like, oh, they're in the Caribbean, like, oh, like no shade against your Mexico decision. I'm gonna put them in the middle of Finland in the middle of winter. Like, I want them to be cold and miserable because I think it'd make good TV. So obviously Jax is there. I'm going to put Heather from Salt Lake City because Heather's one really, really fun. And I think she'll bring out the fun, chaotic side of Jax, but also like, I don't want to punish Heather, but she's like lives in Salt Lake City. So she's used to cold and winter. So we're going to have Heather. Then we're going to have, oh gosh, I'm not going to do any of the Beverly Hills people because he'd be too comfortable with that. I am going to do, I don't like Jen Shaw around Heather, even though I'd love to throw Jen Shaw in the mix. We're also going to do Dodie, but like Dodie pre-therapy Dodie, because that's a fun group of people right there. And the next two I'm going to bring, do you know who I love because she's always over the top and ridiculous, but make sure she gets screen time, is Kenya from Atlanta. So Kenya's going to be there. And then we need one more guy. So I am going to choose to bring, oh, it's going to be a below deck. You know what? I like Captain Jason from Below Deck Down Under. So he's just going to be there like the voice of reason when everyone's screaming at each other in the middle of Finnish winter. Jason's be like, come down. I can't, I don't even know what that accent I was about to try. It was terrible, but he'd be like, calm down, mate. It's all okay. Plus, and this is really important, as we found out with Below Deck Down Under, Captain Jason is first aid trained. And I really feel like that's going to come in handy.
For sure. You have quite an eclectic group.
They're either going to get along really, really well and get matching tattoos, or there will be a murder suicide. There's no other way to do it. Like,
it'll be chaos. It'll be chaos.
Okay, well, obviously, we want to encourage anybody else listening to tag us at Bravo Replay. If you can top mine or Mattia's, please tag us and let us know who's in your ultimate boys girls trip with Jax Taylor, and extra points if you can draw it out, literally, because I guess I'm an art teacher now because I really want to encourage pictures of that.
Yes, please visit us at Bravo Replay on Instagram. Also, feel free to send us some Bravo questions of your own, some trivia questions you've thought of, you think that would be clever. Send them to us, and you might hear your question podcast. Also, please give us a 5-star review if you enjoyed us. If you didn't enjoy us, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, keep it
just
to
like
yourself.
Bravo, keep it to yourself. Just like when girls say, like, don't bring this up at this event right now. Keep it to yourself. This is the moment. Keep it to yourself. But if you did love us, give us a 5-star review on our. Yes, a 5-star review, and we will read out your username, handle, whatever you go by on our next episode. So it'd be a fun thing if you want to hear your name on a podcast. This is the time to do it.
Absolutely. And if you give us bad reviews, don't forget that I write for a site, and I'm not going to threaten you. They wouldn't publish a threat anyway. So we're gonna take that as an empty housewife threat and move on. But Mattia, this was so much fun.
This was so much fun to really do a deep dive into Mr. Jax Taylor. I am looking forward to your guys' questions and your 5-star reviews.
I can't wait. Okay, so Mattia, if people want to engage with you outside of this, where can they follow you?
They can follow me at Mattia_Eliz, ELIZ, or follow me on Bravo Replay. I'm on there. It's going to be a good time. If you're in Chicago, please stop by, send me a DM, and join us at our trivia games.
Absolutely. And please be on my team if you got more than 4 points. I'm Kate Hudson. You can follow me along at the Mary Sue, where I write 2 to 3 articles a day, depending on my vibes that day, and at Bravo Replay on Instagram and all other really fun social accounts once we figure out who's going to win out on the Twitter war, because it's not on Twitter, is it? Well, Mattia, this was like, I think that's it. Like, is there anything, like any final parting thoughts you want to give anyone?
I'm so proud of everyone. If you answered everything correctly, you really are a hero of mine. If you were listening to these and you thought they were so easy, tune in next time because, like I said, I can do some deep cuts. So if you want them harder, let me know.
Okay, and speaking of next time, what is our topic next week?
Well, we are going from sunny LA to a very chilly Utah next week.
Okay, so it's going to be bad Mormons, right?
That is correct.
I cannot wait. Well, until next time, thank you for putting your drama to the test.
Thanks, you guys.